All right, so thank you, Tobias, for joining us, man. Like, it's a pleasure having you with us. Especially, thank you for the time. I know you were busy. What were you doing before, man?
Oh man, I was grabbing some food with a good coworker and a teammate of mine. Um, funny story. So we have a policy at the gym. If you leave anything around or whatever, uh, it gets thrown out. Because
Okay.
COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like if anything gets left or anything like that, we have to take cleaning measures and do a cord. And he threw away my shoes. So he took me out for a drink afterwards, and we made up. So it's all good. But
Man, thank God
got
we don't have that. We don't have that rule in my gym, man.
right, right. You're like the lost and found doesn't. It's not so found anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
Uh,
is true, man. Like the one rule that is sacred where I train is to wear the flip flops before you enter the tatami.
yeah, absolutely,
That's like,
absolutely.
but they are very, very strict with that, man. Like very, very, very strict. I even had to get myself a couple like new flip flops for that because like the ones that I had were like were girly color,
Yeah,
you know. And I was like,
yeah,
I'm not taking this to the gym, so I got like solid black ones.
yeah. There you go. There you go. You can't tell. You can't tell out
You
there.
gotta tell, man.
No,
how,
that's awesome.
how's training with you going, man? How are you keeping up?
Man, everything's kind of weird, in the times that we live in because like you're in this weird in between where like you're trying to train, you're trying not to be too much on social media with it. You're trying to get all your training in and do all these things, and you can't really tell anybody about it. So it's kind of tough. You can't tell people where you're training at or who you're training with, really, because you're trying to protect people and trying to protect your ability to still be able to train. So um, it's been a little tough on the social media side, but as far as
What
training
way?
goes, but as far as training goes, I'm still doing good. I'm getting my rolls in, I'm getting my sparring in. Uh, I'm still getting my cardio in. My weight has never been better, so I still feel like I'm progressing and getting better every day. So I don't feel like too many things have impeded on that, impeded on me getting better.
That's good, man. So like you mentioned right now that it's been a little bit challenging with the social media and all. Like in what ways?
Um, because you want to protect the areas and places that you're training because every day I'm hearing about, hey, this gym got shut down. Hey, uh, these people got shut down. People are getting arrested in some areas. It's craziness to me. It's crazy to me that uh, you can't perform the freedoms that you should just have as a human being. You know, um,
Yes,
because of these COVID stipulations.
man. That is something that is a big. It's a big impact for a lot of people, especially people in the U.S. Or like Brazil, that they have a lot of COVID and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That like definitely is hard, but this time when people need to collaborate, they need to participate, they need to follow the rules. You
Mhm.
know, they, for example, like here in Finland, that's one thing I have to admit that when this thing first started, immediately was we didn't actually been quarantined, but they just told us, okay, take precautions. We're gonna pull out kids from school. We're gonna homeschool them for
Of
this
course.
time. People that work in the office can work from home and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Everybody was following the rule. Everybody was like following the precaution with the mask, wearing the mask. People were not getting out. They were just getting out, going out for the necessities, groceries and all that.
Yeah.
And that helped, And then I talked to some people in my home country, Bolivia, and they
Yeah.
tell me, for example, like, nah, man, like nobody's following the rules here, man. They just don't care. Like they just
Yeah.
like walking like it would be normal, and it's like over 40,000 people infected, and well, not even close to how it is in the U.S. Like now in the U.S. because it's really big, like the big levels of infection are very high.
Yeah.
People should be taking those measurements, should be really following the rules. I know it sounds very weird, like in a way that, man, that's my freedom. I should be allowed to do certain things.
Yeah.
But
Of
we're
course.
living
Yeah.
in difficult times now, man.
Yeah. No, and I totally agree with that, and I think it's just hard because for fighters, it's our living, it's our namesake, it's our careers on the line, and fighting has shown that it's going to keep continuing, and that's one of the things that I really, really, really enjoy about it, and that I find passionate is that fighting is still finding a way to give people hope.
That is true. That is very true, because that is one thing also here that stopped. Like training, competing, everything stopped. It was like on hold for like 3 months, and now they just opening. Things are getting back to normal, and then
Yeah.
boom, we just heard like a rumor that one guy got infected in the other gym, and they had
Yeah.
to shut down the gym, and then all his training buddies now are in quarantine and all that. So we're just like, people is not scared, but they're like, man, I don't want this to happen, because okay, we're gonna be quarantined, we are gonna stop training and stuff like that, man.
Yeah. No, of course.
Because even myself, at some point, I felt I was coming down with the flu.
Yep.
Because of ego, I didn't want to say to my coach or anything like, hey man, like something's happening, maybe I should stay and not train. But that was like super irresponsible of me. Thank God
Yeah.
nothing was not. It was just like for that day, But imagine worse would have come. Like I would actually been sick or something. Like all my
Yeah.
training buddies would
Yeah.
have been quarantined and stuff.
It's tough. It is
It is
tough.
very tough. How are you handling all that, man? How are you keeping mentally strong? How are you doing everything?
I think one of the main things that I focus on is that, no matter what's going on around me or what's happening, I stick to my guns. I stick to my, okay, what do I need to work on today? What do I need to do to get better? How do I keep surviving every day? Because we only can take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the way that I handle it best is just knowing that there's only so much that I can do in 24 hours. There's only so much that I can do on that day. And as long as I get better at fighting, or I get better as a person, or as a martial artist that day, I feel okay with it. As long as I do something to better myself that day, no matter if it's a little bit of cardio, shadow boxing, going and meeting in my striking coach's garage, things like that. Like, as long as I get the work that is needed, I don't care how the rest of the day goes. I want to make sure that I keep striving to be a better martial artist every day, and that I'm safe. I'm keeping good hygiene. Because those are the only things that I can control. I only worry about the things that I can control, and I don't worry about anything that I can't. I don't worry about what this other gym's doing, or what these other guys are being able to train over in over in another state or another country. It is what it is. We all have to make do with what we have. People have done far more with far less.
Brother, I have to admit, man, that's a great mentality to have. Wow. Kudos for that, man. And not only to have that mentality, but to have the strength and discipline to apply that way of thinking into your everyday life.
Absolutely.
Because like people have this way of thinking as like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. I'm going to do this, but when it comes to execution, they
Mm-hmm.
they cannot execute.
No, of course.
So man, like it's really good that you have that mentality, especially that you admit that you're human, basically, that you cannot control everything, and the things that you cannot control, that you accept. Okay, it's fine that I cannot control that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the aspects I love about the sport, about fighting. Actually, makes me live in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in the, nothing else matters. It's just, and then for some reason, because I'm a distracted guy, but
Of course.
when I'm fighting, I am extremely 100% focused, just me and my opponent,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing else matters. And like I said, I live in the moment. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Nothing else gives me that I
Yeah.
actually live in the moment. I always have this, okay, I'm training, for example, in training, okay, I'm training now, I'm focusing on the drill, on the technique that I'm doing right now.
Of
But
course.
in a couple of minutes, I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to apply this to the future? Instead of
Yeah.
being 100% and perfecting that technique at that moment.
Yeah.
But like with fighting, like I mentioned, it's just me and the opponent and nobody else, and we are living 100% today.
Yeah.
That's
You
what,
heard any news on Jasmine's fight?
man. Like unfortunately, split decision, a loss.
Ah.
Yeah, man.
Ah.
Like it's a bummer, man. Joey told me about it, and I couldn't believe it. And apparently, like there's like it's a very big controversial decision. A lot of people didn't agree with the judges, and
Yeah.
yeah, man. And Aaron Jeffries won.
Yep. I heard about that third round TKO. I saw that. I
Yeah,
saw
that was
that.
good, man. He's looking good, also.
Oh man,
Shame about Jazz though, but
yeah.
she will come back stronger, man. Definitely,
She is tough. She is tough.
she is, man. Beast,
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. Speaking of beasts, you are a beast, brother. You're just like this nasty Viking warrior.
Yeah. That's what I try to be, man, every day. You know, I'm hoping to land something pretty soon. You know, I'm staying ready. I'm keeping my weight down. I'm you know, I've been working every day at trying to just better some areas that I saw as weak points, and you know, I feel well rounded in what I'm trying to do. So, man, you're gonna see a different version of me in the cage pretty soon. Way different version.
Awesome, bro. Tell me, man, like, cause I know you have this. You love the Viking culture. You have Norwegian background, right? Your father is from Norway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Norwegian, Scandinavian. Yeah, both
Norwegian.
sides of my family.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually found that out recently. My mom told me that we had a lot deeper Scandinavian roots than I had originally thought. It's
Bro,
like we're part Irish, but we're also very heavy on the Scandinavian side, on my mom's side.
which part of Scandinavia would that be? Like Norway, Denmark? Do you know?
Yeah, I want to say Norway.
Norway. Okay, yeah.
Norway, yeah, sure.
Have
Like
you
in
been
that,
to Norway?
really?
Like, have you been to Norway?
Oh no, I definitely plan on going. It's on the bucket list. From all the pictures and videos and just how beautiful the countryside is, like it's something that I have to see.
It's
I have.
it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful country. So this is what I recommend, man. When you plan a trip to Europe, come to Finland, visit me.
Hey, Finland.
Yeah, and then you and I we go to Norway and check that out.
Hey, yeah, Finland's got all the Dutch boxing out there, you know.
Man, they do. They have really good fighters out here, man. You know,
Yeah,
they're very committed people. The youth right now. I'm talking about like teenage fighters.
yeah,
Oh my god,
yeah.
beasts, all of them,
Oh, that's awesome.
all of them. Like for example, I trained with this 16-year-old kid. Is he is amazing, man. He's been training already like 8 years, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah,
And you see, he's a small kid. He's very quiet, but when it comes to training, it's kind of like he opens up, and then he has this his technique, his stamina. He's just a great warrior, man. Just like
yeah,
really good. He has a really good potential. He wants to do MMA. At the beginning, he wanted to do just BJJ, but he wants to do MMA. So they're like suggesting like maybe when he's a little bit older to make that transition. Is
yeah,
everything okay,
absolutely.
bro?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what time it is because I have to go pick up my training partner from work.
Oh, okay. It's like 10 to, I guess your time, 10 to 10 would be.
Yeah, so I got to take off here in a minute, and I gotta go get ready from work. So
Oh, okay, man. So let's do this. Let's do this. This would be like part one. Why don't we do a part two?
I love it, man. I appreciate it, dude. It's so awesome talking. I can already see it. We can sit here and talk for hours.
Yeah, definitely, man. So let's do a part two. It's gonna be
Yeah.
our first for JockPharm Talks.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna keep you more. Go do your thing, man. Thank you for this time. And
I appreciate it, man. I hate to just, talk and run, and dart around, man. But one of the things that I've noticed about in the life of fighting, man, is just you get so caught up in that present moment. You really enjoy things for what they are, just because you are so in love with what you're doing, and you're so, I want to say, fulfilled by it. Like me, I love training. I love the fighting part of it. I love the coaching part of it. That's a little bit of more of the role I've been taking up lately, is a little more coaching and helping out, and just it's so much more fulfilling to give back in this sport and then be a part of it. And all of these things, they just make you a happier individual. And when you're happy, time flies.
that is very true, man. That is so true. So let's leave this conversation at what you just said, because that was beautiful.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Luis.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye bye.